The Oscar nominations are out, and in keeping with my tradition, I'm going to now give my personal predictions of who I think is going to win. I'm going to react. I haven't read the list yet. I mean, I know who the favorites are to probably be nominated and all that. But I'm going to read the list now for the first time and then try to figure who I think is going to win. And also keeping in my tradition, I've not seen any any Oscar season films this year. I saw very, very few new releases in 2023, and most that I did were like the blockbusters. You know, I don't think Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is going to be up for any acting Oscars anyway. So we're gonna have a little scroll through the list, and we're gonna see what's up. Always pointless, these videos, but I don't know, they're kind of fun. Look, at least you're getting content from me, alright? I know it's not the content everyone wants, but you know, when I make content like this, a video like this, alright, and I post it and it's just my face and it's just me talking about something, I can just post it onto YouTube, and I don't have to deal with any fucking copyright blocks by goddamn NBC Universal or any of those cunts. And then you re-edit your video, and then you repost it, and then it's still disputed. So you have to go really back to the drawing board with that. Because if you were doing that, it would probably, you know, impact your productivity, and there would be delays in that video coming out, if that video hypothetically existed. But anyway, I'm not working on that video right now. I'm working on this one. So let's do some Oscar predictions. The 96th Academy Awards. Alright, here we go. Best. What the fuck is all this? You know, I'll scroll past. I'm going by Wikipedia. I don't have an article. I just look at the Wikipedia article for the Oscars, and that's where I get them from. They always start them with Best Picture, then Best Director, and so on. But I'm going to scroll past Best Picture for a minute. I'm going to do the acting. I'm mostly not going to do every... Well, I feel like every time I say I'm not going to do every category, and then I end up doing all of them. But yeah, let's have a quick... I've just quickly scanned it without reading them out loud. I've not seen a single film that's in Best Actor. Who'd have thunk it? It's a lot of the favorites. Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Colman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. That's interesting. I thought maybe... I knew Cooper, Giamatti, and Cillian Murphy would be nominated. I thought Leo DiCaprio was a shoo-in as a nominee for Killers of the Flower Moon. Now, obviously, I think Cillian Murphy is the shoo-in to win. I mean, I think so. I think everyone, he's the obvious choice, right? I feel like he's pretty clearly going to win it. I like Cillian Murphy a lot. Cillian Murphy is Irish. We had last year was the big Irish year at the Oscars, where there was tons of Irish nominees, but like I don't think any of them won. So it would be cool for an Irish Best Actor. And Cillian Murphy, of course, is a brilliant actor, so that would be well deserved. I mean, everyone there is good. Colman Domingo has snuck up. I don't want to be disrespectful. I'd never heard of Colman Domingo until this summer. Not because of this movie. I didn't know who he was. I never heard the name. And I went to see Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And Colman Domingo does the voice of Unicron in that movie. So I looked up who was doing the voice of Unicron. Oh, it's this guy. Okay, he looks cool. He's a cool looking dude. And then after that, I started hearing his name everywhere in awards contention for this movie, Rustin. And apparently he was a bit of an outside favourite. He wasn't a shoo-in for a nomination. Like I said, I knew Giamatti, Murphy, Cooper would get one. I thought DiCaprio would get one. So I thought it was down to like... I knew Jeffrey Wright was getting awards talk as well. So I thought it could be between him, maybe Colman Domingo, maybe Barry Keoghan for Saltburn. But yeah, they've put in Domingo and Jeffrey Wright. Love a bit of Jeffrey Wright as well, of course. He was Felix Leiter in James Bond. He's on shit like Westworld. I saw when he was Commissioner Gordon in Batman. I feel like I should know him for more things. There's a very obvious mainstream kind of blockbustery things. But that's where I know him from. Yeah, good actor. But yeah, I mean, it's Cillian Murphy's year, right? It's Cillian Murphy's to lose. That's all the... As all, I just go off of the discourse I read on fucking Twitter, which you shouldn't really go by. But again, I've not seen any of these movies, so I can't say who's the most deserving. I mean, Cillian Murphy is deserving as an actor. Of course, he's brilliant. Paul Giamatti, I fucking am a big fan of Paul Giamatti. I really wanted to see The Holdovers. I'm still hoping to check that out. It might not be on here anymore, I'm not sure. But I do want to see that movie. It's a court by Alexander Payne, who teamed with Giamatti on Sideways. Sideways is one of my favorite films. Giamatti, in that, one of the best acting performances in anything I've ever seen. Like, genuinely brilliant. What year was that? 2003? Is it 2003? And who won that year? Was it like... Did Sean Penn win for Mystic River that year? Sean Penn's a good actor. I've not seen Mystic River either, but was he better than Paul Giamatti? Was that even the same year? I might be wrong about that. I've not Googled it and I'm not going to. I will in a minute, maybe. Yeah, I'd be happy with either of those. I've heard Bradley Cooper's film is a bit Oscar baity, and it's a bit of an obvious try to get an Oscar grab. I don't really know what Rustin or American Fiction are even about. So maybe I'll check them out. Anyway, Oppenheimer is obviously going to get my vote. I think Cillian Murphy's going to win. Alright, Best Actress. This is even less because... Geez, I haven't even heard of one of these. So Annette Bening is up for Nyad. Sorry, this seems like it's a biopic of someone. Diana Nyad. Who is that? I'm going to hover over her name. American Swimmer? Okay. I haven't heard of that movie. Lily Gladstone is in Killers of the Flower Moon. Sandra Hüller, it looks like, in Anatomy of a Fall. What's that? Carey Mulligan in Maestro. Emma Stone in Poor Things. Okay. Probably the girl in Flower Moon. I feel like she's the one who gets the most talk. And obviously, I don't mean to be cynical, but like, she's Native American. It's a film about Native American relations. The Oscars love that shit. Like, they'll give it to her and make a big deal out of it. I don't mind to be cynical, but I feel that way it's gonna go. I have way less to say about this category than the other one. Carey Mulligan. I've heard mixed things about Carey Mulligan. One, I've heard that she carried Maestro, and then I've also heard someone say that she was awful in it. And I'd heard them say that she's never been good in anything. I've not really seen her in that much, but she never really blows me away. Like, you know, I've not seen her in much. I didn't see her in, was it Promising Young Woman? See, so much of these videos is just me saying I haven't seen that film. Okay, Best Supporting Actor, Sterling K. Brown, also in American Fiction. Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon. Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer. Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things. And Ryan Gosling in Barbie as Ken. I was hoping he would get a nomination. Honestly, I hope he wins. Barbie is the one movie in this list that I've seen. As I said, I mostly saw blockbusters. I saw like Mission Impossible, I saw Transformers, I saw Indiana Jones. Barbie was the only one I saw that I feel can transcend that and become an Oscar film. Again, I've not looked at Best Picture. I'm interested to see if Barbie's nominated for Best Picture. And yeah, I mean, everything that I've heard says it's Robert Downey Jr.'s year for Oppenheimer. But I'd like it to be... I'd really like... I mean, Ryan Gosling generally deserves an Oscar, a brilliant actor. He's so fucking good in Barbie. I mean, he was the best part of that movie. Ken carried it, and he's so quotable. Like, that's going to go down as one of those iconic performances. This could be one of those years... because I never hear people fucking quoting Robert Downey Jr. from Oppenheimer. Do you know what I mean? So it will be like, look, I love Martin Landau, but Martin Landau famously won the Best Supporting Actor for 1994 over Samuel L. Jackson, Pulp Fiction. And Martin Landau was in Ed Wood. But like, who talks about that performance really, ultimately, you know? But people fucking remember Samuel L. Jackson, Pulp Fiction. So that to me is the Ryan Gosling of its time. But hopefully he wins. Also, just be cool because I feel like Oppenheimer is probably going to get Best Actor. It's probably going to get Best Director and Best Picture and a bunch of shit. So it would be nice if it wasn't a clean sweep and they just threw something to, and if Barbie got something and we just changed it up a bit. Best Supporting Actress now. Has Mark Ruffalo been nominated for an Oscar before? No, I think he was. I think he was nominated for, what was that wrestling movie? Foxcatcher. That was really good. I want to watch that again. Sterling K. Brown, I don't think has been nominated before. Everyone else has. Of course, Robert De Niro has a couple Oscars under his belt, doesn't he? And yeah, I always like. I mean, Robert De Niro, of course, class act all the time. But it's just it's cool when it's a first time winner. I'm always more interested in someone who hasn't won before winning, as opposed to a repeat winner. Okay, Best Supporting Actress. Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks in The Color Purple, America Ferrera for Barbie, that's interesting, Jodie Foster in Niad, and Davine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. She's the lady on Only Murders in the Building, isn't she? And I like her on that show. Yeah, she's cool. I've heard different things about this. Some people I've heard say Emily Blunt has it in the bag, and others say that Davine Joy Randolph has it in the bag. Having not seen either film, and as a fan of Emily Blunt, an actress who is very deserving of an Oscar, she's brilliant. I mean, what am I basing this on? I haven't seen the films, but judging based on nothing. Now, I'm going to say I'd like the Holdovers to win because, again, just to change it up a bit, because then you have different winners as opposed to everything being from Oppenheimer, is what I mean. But I can't call that. Twitter has led me astray. Twitter hasn't given me a clear shoe-in. America Ferrera was fine in Barbie, but I don't know if that's an Oscar performance. I think that's a case sometimes this happens where an actor is good in like a functional capacity in a movie and you go, yeah, they were good. And then the movie goes and becomes like an Oscar movie and they kind of get swept along and they get nominated. And it's like, I don't know, is that an Oscar-worthy performance? Is that more Oscar-worthy than some of the stuff that wasn't nominated? That I can't think of any examples of, but yeah, I don't know. I question that. No offense to America Ferrera, she was good in Barbie. I didn't come away being like, oh yeah, there's a Best Supporting Actress performance if ever I saw one. Then we start to get into screenplay. What is Anatomy of a Fall? That's nominated. So it's Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, and Past Lives. I just realized May December doesn't have any acting nominations. Natalie Portman nor Julianne Moore, which is interesting. I haven't seen that film either, but I'm interested in it. That's one of the ones that's most interesting to me in this Oscar season. I'd like to see that. That's interesting that didn't get any acting nominations. I thought it would have done. Anyway, I was going to check, what is Anatomy of a Fall? A writer trying to prove her innocence in her husband's death. French legal drama film. Okay, that's why. I probably have heard of this, but I don't know, it just kind of goes past me. I nearly said something there. Past Lives. What's this as well? Okay, yeah, this rings a vague bell. But I don't know anything about it. I can't call it. Probably The Holdovers, though. I mean, it's a... Alexander Payne didn't write it, actually, but... That's interesting. It's not an Alexander Payne pen screenplay, because he won Best Screenplay for Sideways. And I heard someone say that Holdovers was an obvious shoe-in for screenplay. Oh, maybe not. Anyway, adapted screenplay, American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. Now this says that I've clicked on The Zone of Interest, but I don't remember what it fucking was. Okay. Yeah, I mean, probably Oppenheimer's gonna get that. Best Animated Feature. The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, don't know what that is, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I don't think it's. Did anybody see Elemental? Didn't that kind of flop? It's between Boy and the Heron and Across the Spider-Verse. I didn't even see Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I think the fact that the first Spider-Verse movie won, and that doesn't this one end on a cliffhanger that pissed a lot of people off, I think based on that, it might not win. I think it will be The Boy and the Heron. Best International Feature Film, Lo Capitano, maybe that's Yo Capitano. Lo Capitano from Italy. Perfect Days from Japan. Okay, it's a Japanese and German co-production because it's listed as a film from Japan, but it's directed by Wim Wenders. That's interesting. Society of the Snow from Spain, directed by J.A. Bayona. He did fucking the last Jurassic World movie, didn't he? The Teacher's Lounge from Germany. God, that looks fucking like a mope fest. And The Zone of Interest, which actually lists from the UK. Is international different to foreign language? I don't even know what any of those films are about. Oh, now we're getting into. I mean, there's categories here where I just haven't heard of anything. The short films I never hear about. Animated, documentary, live action, no clue. Best documentary feature. I don't think I've heard of any of those. No, so I can't even contribute. Yeah, I don't think there's anything really worth going into in most of the last couple of categories. Cinematography, editing, costume design. I can't comment on really any of these. The only thing that stands out in production design is that Napoleon is nominated. Now there's a film I forgot about. Earlier when I was talking about the Best Actor nominations, I was thinking early on maybe Joaquin excuse me, Joaquin Phoenix might get nominated for that. That movie came out and everyone kind of hated it, I think. So it's got a kind of cursory nod there, but otherwise it's not really in the conversation. Best original score, okay. Poor Things by Jerskin Fendrix. Oppenheimer by Ludwig Göransson. Killers of the Flower Moon by Robbie Robertson, from Spider-Man, and it's a posthumous nomination. Okay, oh yeah, of course, Robbie Robertson of Bob Dylan. Okay, he did pass away. Laura Karpman for American Fiction, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny by John Williams. I love John Williams, and I love his music for Indiana Jones, but I don't remember anything from the Dial of Destiny score. Probably Oppenheimer. I feel like that's what gets a lot of discussion, but they could throw it to John Williams. Hate to sound cynical, but they might give it to John Williams just because he's very old and might die soon. And they might just want to give him another Oscar in his lifetime. Best original song. Let's go. The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot by Diane Warren. What the fuck is Flamin' Hot? Where do these movies come from? What? Directed by Eva Longoria. I really do not watch films anymore, do I? It Never Went Away from American Symphony. What's that? Ugh, it just looks fucking boring. A Song for My People. Killers of the Flower Moon. Then What Was I Made For from Barbie by Billie Eilish. And I'm Just Ken from Barbie by Ken. Yeah, it should be I'm Just Ken. I feel like it's going to end up being What Was I Made For? But it should be I'm Just Ken. It's the better song. Best visual effects. Okay, there's Napoleon. Mission Impossible. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Didn't see that either. Godzilla Minus One. I've heard that's very good, but I didn't see that. See, everyone who recommends it, every time someone says you should see Godzilla Minus One, I ask, did you see Shin Godzilla? They say, yeah. I say, what do you think of it? Oh, I thought it was really good. Like, See, I thought Shin Godzilla was fucking dog shit. So I take everyone's recommendation of Godzilla -1 with a pinch of salt. The creator I heard was really good as well. Actually, what will win best visual effects? Maybe Godzilla. It could be Godzilla. That's getting a lot of talk. Anyway, I gotta scroll back up now. Best my throat is dry. Best director, Justine Triet, that's a lady, for Anatomy of a Fall. Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon. Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things. And Jonathan Glazer. What else has he done? Under the Skin, okay, and Sexy Beast, interesting. I mean, it's Nolan's to lose, isn't it? This is Nolan's year. And he probably should have won in 2010 for Inception. And if not before that, he should have won in 2008 for The Dark Knight, probably. But yeah, it's gonna be him. Yorgos Lanthimos won an Oscar yet. I'd say that's still coming further down the line. Interesting, no Best Director for Bradley Cooper there. I think he put all his eggs in the basket of actor. But didn't he also direct Maestro? I could be wrong about that. Let me check. Yeah, it was. Alright, and Best Picture. Well, he got a Best Picture nomination. Maestro, Zone of Interest, Poor Things, Past Lives, Maestro, I already read that out, Killers of the Flower Moon, The Holdovers, Barbie, Anatomy of a Fall, American Fiction, and of course, Oppenheimer, which is clearly going to win. Yeah, it's just clearly going to win. Steven Spielberg produced Maestro. I didn't know that. But yeah, pretty clearly Oppenheimer's win. The only thing that's really interesting in this race, other than the fact that I can't call most of them because I haven't seen them. Also, my predictions are always wrong, obviously, because I call them based on things like this. The last couple of years I've done it. Like my gut feeling when I go by discourse, when I say like I think this actor would be overdue, or the Academy will award it for these reasons, is almost never right. I was certain Scarlett Johansson was going to win an Oscar for Marriage Story. I was really convinced of that. I don't remember who won instead. What year was that? Was that 2019? Who won Best Actress in 2019? Because I can see all the others. Because it was Joaquin won for Joker. He was Best Actor. Best Supporting Actress was Laura Dern in Marriage Story. Who was Best Leading Actress? I want to know it without googling it, but I have to Google it. Any 19 Oscars. It's also confusing because I've typed in 2019 Oscars, but of course the 2019 Oscars held in 2009 or 2019 were to honor the best films of 2018. So I actually want the 2020 Oscars to find out who won for 2019. It's very confusing. Renee Zellweger as Judy Garland. God. There's a film I didn't see and forgot existed. I did see Marriage Story though. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Wow. See, all these films were huge at the time. I'm now reading the 2019/2020 nominations, and it's like, damn, remember these? Like, remember Judy, that biopic of Judy Garland? Remember Antonio Banderas was nominated for Pain and Glory. Jonathan Pryce was nominated for The Two Popes. Remember The Two Popes? Do you know what I mean? It was a big Oscar movie at the time, but it just... You know? Yeah, all my predictions were wrong this year, and every year since I've done as well. I think that was the year I said 1917 was going to win Best Picture, and then Parasite won. And I've still not seen either of those. God, Oscar films just aren't that interesting, to be honest. I mean, they're fucking boring. I don't want to see 1917. I saw a bit of it and I was just like, and then a trusted source was like, actually his exact review was 1917 was okay, I guess, but TBH it sucked. That was all I needed to know about it. these videos always run on so long as well because I ramble about so much nonsense. Anyway, I just wanted to do it to really, in a roundabout way, slip in an update about why certain videos are taking so long. See, the idea is all these people who complain to me about where those videos are, if you watch the other videos that I put up, you'll get updates possibly, but also you might not. But you have to watch the whole thing through to the end to find out if there's an update or not. And then by that point, you know, you've already watched it and I have your view. And then at that point, you might as well post a comment and share it around to all your friends and stuff and be like, comment on this guy's videos, get him to do the content that we want. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about? I really have to get better at ending videos. I find it very hard to sign off and wrap it up. But I'm going to do it, and the reason I'm going to do it now is because I have to go to the bathroom.